Om Jnanatimirandasya Gnananjanan Shalakaya Chakshurunditam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So this morning we are very privileged and very happy to be in the association of at least 430 devotees of Lord Chaitanya. We all arrived here with some expectation, and we all arrived here to leave inspired, and I hope that the program that the African BBT team put together with the leaders of the Mauritian Yatra fulfills your desires. Of course, we also descend here at a very auspicious time. It's the appearance day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I'm told yesterday is the appearance day of Jiva Goswami. So, indeed, we're here at a very auspicious time. I am tasked this morning in 15 minutes to share with you the work of the African BBT. And also, you'll notice that the program is designed in such a way that 40% of all the input today comes from the Mauritian leaders, because we are here absolutely as your servants. Whatever instructions you give us, as the instructions we'll take away and hope to fulfill. My first duty is to offer my never-ending obeisances to His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has given us everything we have, everything we're grateful for, and we all assembled here on His order. I also would like to offer my obeisances to His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj, who is the inspiration behind the African BBT's team. Maharaj made it very clear that books are the literally incarnation of God or Krishna. Therefore, its sacred production and distribution is our paramount duty and responsibility. So that consciousness is infused in the African BBT team, and we approach the service with much worship and to serve the devotees. Of course, we are coming in a line of unselfish service. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur learned about book printing and paper quality from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the first book distributor in the West. Following in his footsteps, we have hundreds and thousands of book distributors. And today, some 138 or 140 years later, after that first book, since the time Srila Prabhupada left, the BBT and ISKCON has distributed over 560 million pieces of literature. If we have any statisticians amongst you, that works out to 1 every 3 seconds. The Gideon Bible produces a book. Somebody receives a book of the Gideon Bible once in every 1 second. The Gideon Bible has been produced and distributed for 300 years. So why are we here? Well, we're going to be investing 3,720 hours of your time. 430 devotees times the time we have today is 3,720 hours, and I think just the power of that association is sufficient to keep us all inspired. We are beneficiaries of great fortune. We also engage in a very confidential service, the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the word of Lord Nityananda. We're meant to be giving, we're meant to be sharing what we have received by some mercy, and planning is required to do that. I want to also share some moments of celebration. This book, Vanity Karma, received the Benjamin Franklin Award, as you know. It's a BBT book authored by His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj, so we're very proud of that, Maharaj. I can also share with you Far East, Middle East, Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur will be ecstatic to see these Arabic books and Far East books coming out en masse and being distributed on the streets. Not done before, so many more titles. So what do we want to achieve here in Mauritius? When I arrived here 5 years ago, we had a conference, we had a conversation, we had a fantastic day, and we ended up saying we went away with 2 resolutions. One, we wanted to refurbish the way we do BTG, perhaps increase BTG, and to deal with the books, with the French book question. We are in readiness in the opening session in the afternoon to have those two conversations. But if we can leave here today with a 10% increase, if we can say the Mauritian Yatra, BTG and books will increase by 10%, then the African BBT's mission in coming year will have been established. So however we can serve you in that mission, we are at your service. But at least if we can commit, so that arrow I put there, this arrow here, because it means 10% and more. I was just concerned that maybe 10% could be too conservative, so we put the arrow in. So what's our daily meditation? Srila Prabhupada says, if you simply push on this one activity of distributing my books, your all success would be there. Now, in the world today, the ISKCON world, we distribute about 8 million books on the streets of every major city in the world. In Africa, that's about 300,000. In Mauritius, your last 5-year moving average was 53,000. And for some reason, the Back to Godhead subscription fell from 750 to 450. If we work out the number of devotees who are here, and just take a per capita account very quickly, you would see the number of books of 53,000 times the attendance today is about 9 books per annum. It must be very easy to double that. If we double that, we'll have a 30% increase in our book distribution. But I wanted to use this as a preamble for what I'm about to say. So the BBT, in its structure and organization, Srila Prabhupada said the BBT is my heart, ISKCON is my body, and the Back to Godhead magazine is the backbone of the Hare Krishna movement. So the whole global structure of the BBT is designed to serve devotees throughout the world. You'll see we have Bhaktivedanta archives, so 100 years from now, 200 years from now, Srila Prabhupada's books will still be printed and preserved. We have the Back to Godhead magazine, which is based in Florida, printing the Western version. We have Krishna.com, creating the digital market space. And we have 8 dedicated divisions of the BBT, starting from China, Australia, Africa, the Mediterranean, North America, Latin America, Far East, Middle East, and the European BBT. We also, in the last year, introduced an executive team to help the BBT trustees with the management of the global BBT to make it a world-class organization. We have to adapt with the times to make sure we're available and in readiness to serve Srila Prabhupada's order. Most important also, we have a copyright office. All of Srila Prabhupada's books are managed by copyright. We have a dedicated team of devotees. If you speak to any of these wonderful Vaishnavas, they'll tell you it's the best job in the universe, dealing with Srila Prabhupada's books. We are in their steady hand. Every year they meet in June, somewhere in the world, and they strategize about book distribution. So we ask for their blessings. They are all wonderful devotees and have done tremendous service in producing Srila Prabhupada's books. This is the reality, dear devotees, something to aspire to. 210 million copies each year in 327 languages. There are about 10% of what in the world there are 6,500 spoken languages. 4,500 and more than 1,000 people who speak it. So the Jehovah's Witnesses have done very well in terms of translating and distributing their books. In Africa, there's 2,100 languages, and we are about, of the world number of languages, about 1/3. If you look at this slide, very interesting. There's only about 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses on this planet. They do about 210 million books and magazines. That's about, we do about 8 million as I indicated. The BBT has been there for 46 years. In some analysis done by our organization development committee tells us that by the year 2060, ISKCON will have 3,000 gurus and 2.5 million initiated devotees. Just growing at 2%. So when we get those numbers, I'm sure we'll be able to catch up some of these numbers, but these circles are quite daunting, right? I would like to see it the other way around. Definitely quite daunting. And what is required to make us succeed? What is required for us to succeed? Well, the most likely way to succeed would be to work as a team. Somehow or the other, good management keeps us connected and engaged. We've inherited a sacred service. this act of bhakti or, Krishna's devotees are his agents. And some of the other, we need to sit down, strategize, agree, pen down, put targets, and work as a team so we'll eventually be able to achieve those numbers that we want to achieve. So greater collaboration is key. Individually, we are just one drop. Together, we become an ocean. That collaboration is critical, that symbiotic relationship between the BBT and ISKCON. If you look at the anatomy of what Srila Prabhupada was saying, the BBT is the backbone, ISKCON is my body, BBT is my heart. So Srila Prabhupada was quite clear that he wanted a strong collaboration between these different entities. Here's some interesting statistics for you. One may wonder, what does the global BBT turn over in an average year? Well, the global BBT total sales, including India, is about $10 million. Of the $10 million, the value of the BBT, I just put that calculation there for you in case somebody is interested. Srila Prabhupada created $30 million worth of value. If you sell all the BBTs today, somebody buys it. Say somebody from the Jehovah's Witness wants to buy the BBT, they'll pay $30 million for it. And you know what's the value of ISKCON, by the way? We've done some analysis work on ISKCON's financial economy. ISKCON is worth about $2 billion if you had to sell all its assets. So Srila Prabhupada has created a fantastic machinery, seriously capitalized. It's bigger than some New York Stock Exchange companies. So we're really serious about it. We have the machinery to do whatever we need to do. We just need to plan and organize ourselves. I want to show you that book distribution from the 165 temples we've done in the West, you'll still see book distribution as the #1 source of income. Book distribution remains a top priority. Unfortunately, BTG, and we're trying to address why BTG is at this low level. In the income streams, or 15 income streams, it stands at number 10. The Sacred Order, we love from Srila Prabhupada, print as many books in as many languages. You'll hear from Rupa Sanatan Prabhu later on. BBT Africa has been doing some work in this area, and our work is really to achieve this. What Vaisheshika Prabhu says, cover the earth. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said there will come a day when we will translate these books into the languages of the birds and the beasts. So the Acharyas had great vision. Vaisheshika Prabhu's idea here is that on World Enlightenment Day, we will do 1 million books, the whole of ISKCON. So in order to do all of this, you need some facility to work from. 5 years ago, I committed to you, I reported to you. The devotees are the transcendental shareholders of Srila Prabhupada's movement, so we have to come and account to you. We tell you what we've done and we take your input, so please feel free in the open sessions to be as critical, respectfully, as you, as you should, so we can take away the aggregate wisdom. So I told you when we were here the last time, we wanted to get our own building. There we have it. We've got our own building. We have an office in this building, I should say. This is where the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust Africa Division operates from. We expect the BTG office to move here for the whole of Africa soon. We continue to have our annual Bhaktivedanta Swami lectures. Why do we do this? It's because we feel that we need to get into the corridors of circular society. So we have provocative topics, we engage with academics, we engage with social thinkers, and we create that forum. It's done very, very formally. Hopefully we can one year have it at the University of Mauritius. We also have the annual Bhaktivedanta Swami lectures, and we produce an annual report. We tell you all the money we've collected, what we've done with the money, how we operate, and how we are structured. You can go to the BBT website and you'll pick up all the information on the annual report. And you can be absolutely assured that we are absolutely committed to the environment. We only use FSC paper, Forestry Stewardship Council, acid-free paper. It lasts for a long time. We, as a BBT, want to be a responsible publisher. I'm very aware, as much as you do, that in Africa we have over 1 billion cell phones. Cell phones is the way to go into the future. Although we have an app for BTG, we have not really been much successful in other areas. And we will release the BTG app at the appropriate time, but we do have an online facility for that. I wanted to put this slide up to share with you that I think there's a tremendous opportunity for Shastra Dhan, thinking about distributing books in a different way. Before I came here about a month ago, we were dealing with some donors, and the donor asked me, so how much does it cost to produce one container of books. I said, I don't know, and I phoned Matura Mandela, and she said, well, it must be about $50,000. So I told her, donate $50,000. She said, okay, I'll do it. So we had somebody who sponsored $50,000 worth of books. And there must be many people like that out there who will think big and find these kind of persons, and they also have some tax advantages of doing that. So all of us have some priorities. Hopefully when you leave here today, you'll have something in your notes that you've written from our discussions today. On my diary, this is what I am focused on and what the BBT Africa will be focused on. Next year is 75 years for Back to God and Magazine. 1944 to 2019 is 45 years. We want to try and establish BTG to its former glory. Prabhupada's time it was doing 100,000 copies a month. In India we do 100,000 copies a month. Now we do about 15,000 copies every 2 months. We want to change that. We want to understand why Mauritius has fell from 1,500, from 750 to 450. We want to try and see if we can assist. So next year we want to beat the drum on BTG. Then we are you are very aware, and I'm very aware of ebooks. We have a very careful eye on this as to what's happening. We've contracted a professional company to help us and assist us at the appropriate time. At the moment, the other day I met somebody in Botswana some time ago. In the lift, he saw me in my dirty in Kurita, and he was asking me, what are you all about? So we went downstairs to the hotel, to the reception, had a chat. After 10 minutes, he tells me he's an economist, and he's a very well-spoken gentleman. So I thought, let me give him a gift. So we had a book translated to Setswana. I went to the car, brought the book, and gave it to him, and he told me, don't you have one in English? So we had to translate for our audience. I really think that there's a huge opportunity here for corporate book distribution. Do you know that Mauritius has a special tax treaty here in Port Louis, where many companies, South African companies, they're registered here and they have PO box addresses only. They have no functional offices. But they do it and they have to make some contribution in some of the stuff they're doing. Somebody in Mauritius should try and understand how that system works. And I think there's a huge opportunity for corporate book distribution. As a matter of fact, we just registered a company here 2 weeks ago that belongs to a businessman from South Africa. Some things I want to remind you about. Seeing we don't have enough time to speak about it. Firstly, we have on our website a number of pamphlets that our Mukundani Prabhu prepares regularly. So the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, the Vaikuntha Nama we proclaim to the end, many pamphlets are needed. So we have this free on our website. You can download it in Harinam, school programs, and just print it. We intend to add 5 or 10 pamphlets every year onto the website, so please do that. Then we have Nietzsche. Prabhupada said, realization means you should write. We have an African authors program. We encourage devotees to write something, a book, or whatever you feel inclined to talk to us. We are looking for an ambassador. We have ambassadors across Africa. In each country we have one person we call the BBT ambassador. We speak to him, we connect with them, we share information with them. We have a vacancy for somebody in Mauritius. So if somebody is interested, please speak to the leadership here and then we can have that conversation. It connects us to yourself and connects us to the center of book distribution. I want to share with you this slide, and not to talk to you about the details, but just to highlight to you that Back to Godhead magazine we've done the computation, is a very good business model. It works fantastically well in South Africa. Most of the South African temples, I think 40% of the revenue comes from BTG. Simply because you get a donation every month, and every second month you give a BTG out. This is something I'm hoping we'll be able to have a conversation about. But you look here, you see the multiplier effect on the ISKCON economy is like 10 times the calculations we've done. And when Divyangana presents a BTG presentation, hopefully in the afternoon we can have some conversation about it. Then I want to thank you very much for your attention. I also want to reiterate that the team that's here with me purely as here as your servants. We've come to serve you, we've come to hear you. We've limited our presentations. We look forward to your various deliberations and however we can serve you. The objective must be that when we come back in a few years' time, that we have, from the base that we have increased the number of books and we have increased the number of BTT subscriptions. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gaura Premanand.